So they made the fight. They made the fight happen apparently. In recent times, anytime a fight can't be made because money's the problem and fighters want to get paid over the odds for what they're going to do, and the people don't want to see it, take it to Turkey Al Sheikh. Take it to Turkey Al Sheikh and he will sort it out. I'm confused about this one though. Because why do we want to see this fight? I don't particularly care for this fight. This is not a fight I care to see or care to watch. This fight is ridiculous for me. It's ridiculous. Benn versus Chris Eubanks Jr. Why? Their fathers had a great rivalry. Fantastic rivalry. It was brilliant. That was then. They called this one born rivals. They are not rivals. They were not born to be rivals. There's a 7-8 year difference between them. Benn being the younger at 28. Chris Eubanks Jr. being older at 35. There's a whole career difference between them. Chris Eubanks Jr. started his career 2011. He's about ready to retire, if you ask me. Benn, he only just started his pro career in 2016. And since he's turned pro, he hasn't really done much to suggest that he will become a champion one day. He's a prospect at the moment. That's where he's considered to be in the welterweight division. And this is the other thing. There's 2 to 3 weight class difference between these two guys. Chris Jr. has never fought lower than middleweight. Benn has never fought higher than welterweight. What are we doing? It's not like Benn is big for the weight. He's not. He's a small welterweight. And it's not like Chris Eubanks Jr. needs to have this fight to significate the fact that he is on the road to becoming something. He's had a whole career and he should be looking to either fight for a world title or retire, in my opinion. You haven't achieved anything in this game, Chris Eubanks Jr. And to be fair to you, you didn't call for this fight. Benn called you out for some reason. I have no clue. It's like he was thinking, oh mate, what am I going to do? I mean, like, I ain't going to do much in this game, am I? I ain't going to be a champion, am I? Like, I'm smashing it in the gym, right? I'm smashing it in the gym and I ain't getting any better, mate. There's no improvement. I'm limited. So what am I going to do? Tell you what, Chris Eubanks' son, he's rubbish as well, isn't he? He's no good. He ain't done anything either and he's about to retire. I tell you what, I'm going to call him out. I'll call him out, right? And we can have a ding-dong. You know what I mean? We can have a ding-dong in the ring and sort it out that way. You know what I mean? Make a pot load of money because everybody in England knows about my dad and his dad and their rivalry. They love it. Can make lots of money off of this. I tell you what. I'm going to call him out and if he doesn't take it, then I'm going to call him a wussy. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell everybody that he's a wussy. And then when I call him out, he's a bit big, isn't he? So I'm going to have to tell him to come down a bit because I can't get up there, can I? I can't get up there and be successful, can I? So I better tell him to come and meet me somewhere under 160. You know what I mean? Because if I call him out, I can always say, well, he's bigger than me, isn't he? He's bigger than me, which is everything that they've been saying. Him and Eddie, they've all been talking about, well, Chris is bigger. And I'm going all the way up there. Listen, it got rubbished. It got turfed. I was happy that it got turfed. I thought it weren't going to happen ever. Benn got found for taking some performance-enhancing drugs. Chris Eubanks Jr. looked like he was moving on. I thought that was the end of it. I thought we weren't going to see nothing of it again. I kept on hearing rumblings. But I didn't think that it would have any steam to go forward and make this fight happen. I surely did not think that the Sheikh would put it on one of his fights to see in the future list. But he obviously has, because now he has come along and said, these guys can't agree on the split. So let me just offer them a money each and see if they take it. And plus, they're going to take it because I'm the Sheikh. And when I offer money, people take it. You understand? So here you go, Chris, that's yours. Here you go, Conor, that's yours. Sign the thing. And apparently now they've both signed. And this fight is going to happen somewhere in April, somewhere in the UK. And the undercard is due to be a bit mad as well. The undercard is due to be a bit crazy, I can't lie. So I'm looking forward to see what's on the undercard of this fight. But this fight in particular, I got no time for. I don't care for it at all. It's slightly like a celebrity deathmatch in a sense. These guys are nowhere near each other in weight, but they're going to have a fight. What Turkey Al Sheikh done, it seems like, is tell Conor that you just go up to middleweight. There's not going to be no catchweight thing. Go yourself up to middleweight. And now all the Benn supporters are saying, well, Conor's a smaller guy. You know what I mean? He's got a big weight advantage. Chris Eubanks Jr. did not call for this fight. He didn't call for it. So if you want to fight Chris Eubanks Jr., you need to go up to his weight. It only makes sense. It's only right. And for me, Conor Benn's supposed to be looking to fight other challengers to get a welterweight title. What happened to the fight with Mario Barrios? I thought you were going to fight Mario Barrios for his belt. He got the green belt. He got the WBC thing. The most sought after belt of all the belts. Why aren't you going for that? What happened? That's what I want to know. What happened to this Mario Barrios fight? Which I believe that you should have had, really and truly. That's the fight you should have had. Because if you're going to have any chance of being a champion, it's going to be against Mario Barrios. But you're not having that fight. You're fighting Chris Eubanks Jr. instead. I don't understand. I can kind of get where Chris Eubanks Jr. not necessarily having to fight Erislandy Lara, because at the end of the day, fighting Conor Benn is probably going to give him more money than fighting Erislandy Lara. And let's be fair, Chris Eubanks Jr. is at the end of his career. He's looking to top up his pension on his way out of the game. I get it. That's fine from Chris Eubanks Jr.'s side. But Chris Eubanks Jr. wasn't the one that called for this fight. This was all down to Conor Benn. And Conor Benn wanting this fight at this stage of his career, where he's basically only just starting out in his career. He's only just starting. He's at a prospect contender stage of his career. So he's supposed to be fighting for honours, for the proper real trinkets, the proper belts, which he has a chance to and an opportunity to because of his namesake. Not because of his skill set, not because of the fights that he's had to get him to here. It's because of his namesake. And before he uses that advantage of his namesake to go and get that belt, or actually fight for that belt, he's using it to fight Chris Eubanks Jr., who has nothing to do with him in any way, shape or form. Not in weight class, not in rivalry. Your fathers had the rivalry. You didn't even know Chris Eubanks Jr. When Chris turned pro, Conor Benn was 14 years old. He had no clue about Chris Eubanks Jr. and what he was doing. And even if he did, he didn't care. He weren't thinking, oh, one day I'm going to fight Chris Eubanks Jr. because his dad beat up my dad and my dad never got revenge properly because they called the rematch a draw and it wasn't a draw because my dad won. He never had that type of mentality at 14. And even if he did, he weren't looking to fight Chris because he's too small. And even if he was looking to fight Chris at that point, when he grew up, he was too small. Way too small. This came out of nowhere. I don't see the reason for it. It's ridiculous. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money for the Sheikh. But apparently, the UK populace would love to see this fight. So he's making the fight for the UK fans. Well, you lot are lucky. You lot are lucky that Turkey and the Sheikh have money for fling where, so that he can come and try and solve all the problems in our boxing. So this is nonsensical. I just want to see what the undercard's saying. I want to see what that's like. So Chris Eubanks Jr. versus Conor Benn. I'll talk about it and maybe break down how the fight's going to go later on when the fight date's announced and the venue's announced, and we can talk about how it's going to go then. But for now, I'll see you guys in the next video.